Hello and welcome to Spectrum Sphere, where we dive into the diverse world of discovery, exploring everything from the wonders of science to the complexities of history. Today, we're peeling back the layers of the French Revolution. If you're intrigued by thought-provoking content, be sure to like, subscribe, and join our community for regular updates. Before we delve into the storming itself, let's set the stage. Pre-revolutionary France was a land of stark contrasts. Immense wealth and opulence sat side by side with crushing poverty. The Ancien Regime's rigid class system meant that while the nobility thrived, the common people suffered, sowing seeds of discontent. Turning our gaze to the Bastille, it was more than a prison. It was a symbol of the monarchy's absolute and arbitrary power. Loathed by many, it stood as a stark reminder of the king's authority, holding a few prisoners indeed, but its grandiose fortifications and cannons pointed at the heart of Paris projected the king's might. Before revolution's sparks were struck, France's economy reeled in crisis. Royal coffers were drained by extravagant spending and costly wars. The common people, burdened by heavy taxes and poor harvests, seethed under the weight of escalating bread prices, setting the stage for widespread discontent and the call for change. As the economic crisis deepened, King Louis XVI, grappling with mounting debts, was compelled to reconvene the Estates General, an assembly representing France's three traditional estates: the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. This decision marked a pivotal moment, as it hadn't met for almost 175 years, setting the stage for monumental shifts. As discontent grew, the Third Estate, representing the common people of France, began to assemble. Frustrated by the social inequality and economic hardships, they sought a fairer system. Their gathering was more than a meeting. It was a brewing storm of public unrest, soon to shake the very foundations of the French monarchy. On June 17, 1789, the Third Estate took a bold step, proclaiming themselves the National Assembly. This audacious move was a declaration of political independence from the king and the aristocracy, signifying a collective determination to forge a new, equitable constitution for all of France. The tennis court oath, taken on June 20th, 1789, marked a pivotal moment. When barred from their usual meeting place, members of the Third Estate converged on a nearby tennis court, vowing not to disband until a new constitution was established, symbolizing a collective struggle for representation and reform. As July 1789 unfolded, Paris was a tinderbox of unrest. News of the National Assembly's stand and Necker's dismissal stoked the flames of insurrection. Parisians, already aggravated by famine and economic hardship, began to assemble, their anger simmering towards the pivotal eruption at the Bastille. In a decision that would further fuel revolutionary fervor, King Louis XVI dismissed the popular finance minister, Jacques Necker, on July 11th. Necker's removal triggered outrage. Perceived as a champion of the Third Estate, his dismissal sent shockwaves through Paris, inciting crowds and hastening the march towards the Bastille. As the political crisis deepened, a restless Parisian crowd began to assemble, driven by rumors and discontent. Their aim was clear: to arm themselves for the looming conflict. They surged toward the Invalides to seize muskets and then to the Bastille, clamoring for the gunpowder locked within its ancient stores. The Bastille, long towering over Paris, was a fortress famed for its formidable defenses, a symbol of royal authority. Encircled by thick stone walls and 8 looming towers, it was a daunting challenge for any force. Within its cells, a mere handful of prisoners languished, their fates obscured by its grim facade. As dawn broke on July 14, 1789, an agitated throng of Parisians began their march towards the Bastille. Anger and determination lined their faces, for the fortress was more than a prison. It was the detested emblem of tyranny. Their goal was clear: seize the Bastille and the gunpowder within. As the determined crowd reached the formidable walls of the Bastille, they found themselves face to face with its steadfast guards and the resolute Governor de Launay. Tensions soared as the revolutionaries demanded the release of arms and the surrender of the fortress, setting the stage for an inevitable clash. The air was heavy with tension as revolutionaries and the Bastille's defenders engaged in a precarious standoff. Fervent negotiation attempts ensued, with the insurgents demanding the surrender of the fortress and the release of the arms stockpiled within. Governor Delaunay weighed his dire options, the revolutionaries' patience thinning by the moment. As the crowds besieged the fortress, a turning point came. From the alleyways and streets of Paris, reinforcements began to pour in, swelling the ranks of the revolutionaries. These were not just irate citizens, but mutinous French guards, defecting to the people's cause, eager to lend their military expertise to the burgeoning revolt. Tensions erupted into violence as the rebels launched their assault on the Bastille's outer courtyard. The angry mob, now reinforced by sympathetic soldiers, clashed fiercely with the fortress's defenders. Chaos reigned as the defiant cries of liberté echoed through the stone-clad battlefield, marking the commencement of the storied storming. As the revolutionaries surged forward, they faced the formidable inner defenses of the Bastille. Amidst a hail of gunfire and smoke, the attackers, fueled by fervor for freedom, found their moment. They pushed through barricades, locking in a fierce struggle with the king's soldiers, inching towards the heart of despotism's symbol. Under relentless pressure and the growing intensity of the crowd, Governor Delaunay realized the situation was dire. Recognizing the futility of further resistance, he made the decisive choice to surrender. The gates of the Bastille were thrown open, marking a pivotal moment of triumph for the revolutionaries. As the smoke cleared, the capture of the Bastille revealed a gruesome scene. The governor, captured by the mob, faced a brutal end, and his head paraded on a pike became a grisly symbol of the people's retribution. The guards, too, suffered at the hands of the incensed revolutionaries. With the Bastille now in the hands of the insurgents, they discovered to their surprise that only 7 prisoners were held within its walls. These few inmates, a mix of forgers, madmen, and noblemen, were set free amidst the chaos, their liberation symbolic more than strategic, as crowds gathered, witnessing the dawn of a new era. The fall of the Bastille became a powerful symbol, transcending its physical conquest. For the Parisian crowd, and soon all of France, it signified the collapse of royal tyranny and the birth of the people's power. It wasn't just a fortress that had fallen, but an old order making way for revolution. As the smoke cleared above the Bastille, word of its capture spread like wildfire. The streets of Paris erupted in both jubilation and disbelief. This triumphant rebellion against authority resonated throughout France, propelling a nation towards freedom and setting the stage for far-reaching global change. Historians today scrutinize the storming of the Bastille with a discerning eye, recognizing it as a complex catalyst for the French Revolution. While debate persists over the extent of its immediate political impact, there's consensus on its enduring symbolic power as a flashpoint for the struggle against oppression. The fall of the Bastille ignited sweeping changes, signaling the collapse of royal authority and fueling the rise of popular sovereignty. As the revolution unfolded, this event bolstered the people's resolve, leading to the abolition of feudalism and the declaration of the rights of man and of the citizen. In the wave of revolutionary fervor, the Fête de la Fédération was established a year later on July 14, 1790. This national holiday commemorated the unity of the French people and the newfound harmony within the nation. Its legacy endures, as Bastille Day remains a symbol of French identity and democratic ideals. The fall of the Bastille swiftly transformed it into a potent icon of rebellion and emancipation. Once a symbol of absolute monarchy's oppressive might, its ruin stood as a testament to the people's power. Celebrated annually, it now encapsulates the triumph of liberty over tyranny within the collective French consciousness. The storming of the Bastille did not just shake France, it echoed across continents, inspiring uprisings and becoming a symbol for revolutionaries everywhere. As news spread, it fueled the fight for justice and democracy globally, reminding oppressed peoples that change, no matter how impossible it seems, can be ignited by the courage of few. As we reflect on the storming of the Bastille, we're we're reminded of its lasting lessons on the power of collective action and the spirit of resistance. This pivotal moment teaches us that the quest for freedom and equality can topple even the most formidable symbols of oppression. Today, Bastille Day remains a powerful symbol of liberty, fraternity, and equality in France, integral to national identity. Celebrated every July 14th with grand festivities and a spirit of unity, it stands as a testament to the ideals birthed from the Revolution that continue to resonate in the heart of French democracy. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history with Spectrum Sphere. If you've enjoyed exploring the storming of the Bastille and its impact on the world, please show your support by hitting the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for a wide array of diverse and educational content we bring to you weekly.